Shelter Mortgage, flexibility, professionalism, and service. Let us custom build a mortgage for you.
Hello, Prudential sales executives, for our video message of the week. All right, this week's message is entitled Confrontation versus Encouragement. Now, I will tell you that these two items, you may not realize it, but really are two sides of the same coin. Now, I want to give you a couple tips on confrontation and encouragement. Now, be it that sometimes you're dealing with people internally, maybe on your team or staff, or outside, okay, of the company, dealing with vendors, even other agents, okay? These tips will help you. Not all tips will work in both situations, but I think they're all really important for you to internalize and utilize in your daily leadership and your daily activities. All right, let's get started. All right, first of all, when you're dealing with both encouragement and confrontation, you want to be specific. The worst thing you can do to yourself, okay, is generalize in both scenarios. Let me cover both. First of all, in a confrontational scenarios, the more general you are, you open up the conversation to conjecture, to assumptions, okay, to now my thought process, my filters. And you know what happens is it loses the message that you were trying to get across in the first place. Be very, very specific, which starts off with you understanding really what you're trying to accomplish before you move to that aspect of a conversation. Even in encouragement, when you are thinking to yourself, God, I really want to be positive about this, and you encourage in more of a general sense, it really doesn't have the punch that you want it to have. Okay, let's say someone really went above and beyond the call of duty, or a group of people. Make sure you're really specific. Hit on those key points. Let them know where they really succeeded. It doesn't mean that they can't get better in other areas, but you really want them to know, wow, you were really impressed with this aspect. 2, it is so important that you speak, okay, to the right person or persons, okay, when you're dealing with any type of confrontation and encouragement. Again, a big problem is when you talk in a general group, okay, to people that maybe, let's just say confrontationally, you have an issue that you want to get across. So it's easier for you to do it in a more group session, okay, or even 2 or 3 staff people that you work with, all right? What you're missing there is each individual might not have the same problem. In fact, they may feel very confident that they don't have the issue that you're going over now. And so you share that, and really it ends up almost demotivating someone who says, I do a good job in that, and really this is Susie's issue or Billy's issue, whatever the case may be. So you need to keep that in mind. Depending on who that person is, you should talk to those specific people or that specific individual and say, you know what? I wanted to talk to you about this specific circumstance. And again, it works the same way with encouragement. It's such a powerful aspect when you call someone out of a group and you'll say, I want you to know how successful Susie was in this endeavor. In fact, I want her to share some ideas with you because she did great in this specific area. Wow. Makes Susie feel great. She's separated out. It's a good thing. Now, I want to go into a separate aspect of this. My next point is you always encourage, or you have the freedom to encourage in a group. Okay, you're never going to hurt anyone's feelings by encouraging in a group. But when you're dealing with a challenge and you want to confront this challenge, okay, my recommendation is you don't do that in a group. You do that either individually or with the persons, if it affects more than one person, with that specific group. All right, pull them aside. That is not something that you want to talk about along those lines. And I'll tell you, the other thing it'll do, it'll drown out a lot of other messages that you might want to get across, okay, at different times, because everything you're going over in a group setting that you really should not be doing. Okay? Next, ask great questions, specifically when you're dealing with confrontation. You know, confrontation gets a bad rap. Really, it's part of a process to really help people grow and get better. But I'll tell you, sometimes we fall into attack mode, and we blurt out everything we're thinking, and realistically, I have not found that to be effective, okay? What is effective is asking great questions. Again, it starts off with you having clarity on what you're trying to accomplish. Ask those great productive questions and let them talk to you, all right? They're not going to be turned off by what they're saying, all right? So let them continue to talk to you, and guess what? You ask one question, they bring up some stuff, it leads you to the next question and the next question until you get to where you want to be. All right, last point for today is please do not confuse effort with achievement. They are very, very different, okay? There can be many, many people that put in great effort, all right? But the reality of it is everyone's got to buy into this concept that here's our goal, here's what we're trying to achieve. And I'm not pulling from you in any way, shape, or form that you're not putting in the effort. But it's that achievement that we all got to wrap our arms around, okay? So not to confuse that. Sometimes, as leaders, people you work with, maybe vendor partners that you're working with, you'll let them know, okay, they're putting in the time, but they're not getting the job done. You need to make that specific point and saying you do appreciate everything that they're doing. But here's the goal, and you really need them to work hard to get there. Have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye.